kick Mark out of here.
I'm going off the stage.
No, I'm kidding. Mark will be back with us in just a little bit. Flint Mayor Dayne Walling, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, please.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is the only guy who can get people out of bed early in the morning, and then on Saturday night from
we're still
9
going.
p.m. to midnight.
We're still going. We're still
slots,
going.
Right? Prime slots.
So you heard, I think you were here when I just said there were some would-be candidates talking this morning about their candidacy. Is there such a thing? And are you one?
Absolutely, I'm one. We'll see.
I mean, I know you took out the petitions, but does it count until they've been certified?
Not really.
Yeah.
So that's what everybody's got to do right now. The clerk will go through the signatures, and we'll see who gets more than 900 verified, and everybody who does, and myself, will be on the August ballot. We'll have a good usual circus of a primary election in Flint. That's how it goes, right?
And we're going to put that circus on at the White Horse, I'll have you know. Just like we did 2 years ago,
right.
and it was great fun. And I think people should pay attention to what's going on. Is it tougher to look at running this time because things have been so tough?
You know, it is hard. We have had to make some real tough decisions, and not everybody has agreed with those. But as I've gone out and continued to talk with people, and folks have come into my open office, and I really believe the public understands that we have these problems, and they're not about me, and they're not about who's at City Hall. They're really about our deeper community's issues, and they're not just here in Flint, but it's you know, you're seeing it at the state level, you're seeing it at the national level, and the public understands that, you know, you can only do so much, and what you want to see from your elected officials is that they're willing to work with other people, that they're willing to be civil, that they're willing to focus on the people's priorities, and I've done all those things, and I'm prepared to defend my record.
Were you surprised by the New York Times headline calling Flint the murder town USA?
Yeah, it was garbage. I don't know if it's a surprise, because there's a lot in this media business who, unfortunately, you know, folks who just don't care much about anything being accurate. They're just in it to get his $100 or whatever he gets when he gets something picked up from the AP Wire for the New York Times, and there wasn't anything accurate in that story. It wasn't balanced. It didn't help us think about any solutions. So that kind of journalism's been around for a long time. So not as much surprise as just disappointed to know that it's out there. But unfortunately, that's how some people make their living.
Well, I can't help wondering if you're surprised by some of the public reaction to some of the problems that you've had trying to get the budget balanced.
You know, what shows up in the comments in something like a Flint Journal or MLive, you know, what I found is those just don't reflect the real sensibilities that our community has. I mean, people come up to me every day and say, you know, we appreciate how hard you're working. We know you've got tough decisions. Things have been hard in Flint for a long time. There's, you know, old President Nixon saying about there being a silent majority, you know, that there is something to that in a democracy, that there's a lot of people who wake up every day and they go to work and they try to raise their families as best as they can, and they're not trying to come up with clever things to write on MLive blogs. And the people who do that don't represent, you know, the majority of families and voters in this community.
I can't help, because of the nature of this celebration, to think about the most famous Nixon quote of all time, and I hope you're never compelled to have to make that announcement.
Right. We'll leave that to other Flint elected officials.
Mayor, it was really nice of you to come by and spend some time with us, and I hope you will when we get into the actual campaign, because as always on this show, we try to give everybody an opportunity to talk about what they want to do and what they want to see happen, and get people to know them a little better. And thanks for coming by and making this a really
well. You're welcome. You know, I like you talk serious. You have some fun on the show, but you certainly talk some serious politics, and I do want to be on for you to ask those tough questions and for your viewers to hear. In the spirit of the celebration, I'm not trying to butter you up here, but I did want to bring a recognition for you. And I do, as mayor, have the ability to designate days. So we have
look at this.
We have Saturday, April 23rd, has been designated as Tom Sumner Day in the city of Flint. So here's your proclamation, Tom.
Great.
Enjoy your moment in the spotlight here.
This was very nice, and Your Honor, it's, as W.C. Fields would say, Your Honor, it's an honor.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
And,
democracy needs people like you, Tom, who just keep beating the drum every day, and people don't always want to hear what you and your other hosts have to say, but it's part of democracy, and I'm a big believer in democracy, so I'm glad you're doing what you're doing.
And we're going to try and keep it real, and we're going to try and keep it balanced right here on Off the Cuff with Armchair Politics every Wednesday, and all the great guests we have, like Mayor Dayne Walling. We're going to take a short break. We're going to get to meet some of our former co-hosts coming up right after this break. That was nice.